Good evening. I recently wrote a book called Random Mistakes, and it is now out on Audible as well as Kindle. But the problem here is nobody in the whole world seems to have read it at this point. So I am taking the audio file that I have had produced and I'm going to play it right now for anyone who wants to listen to my new book, Random Mistakes. It is 23 minutes long and I hope you enjoy it.
Random Mistakes by Maggie Hess. Narrated by Bethany Yeh. Don't love me, said the leaf to the tree. Gusts blow, down she go, dropping over. As hard as I did try, I could not defeat the love that I did have for you. So I dove into her waters and kicked my feet and wiggled my toes all the way down the stream, singing loudly against the roar of her raging waters, until I got to the waterfall. Where did you come from? Asked for poetry. The poet needs a walk. Slats of moss, someone may collect later. Moss harvester must know a wide carpet, some deep gully dripping beneath the clouds, dripping beneath the clouds. Under the lip of the cup, God turns on us. I know of a place the rain barely touches, under thick canopy layers. Come with me sometime. Come with me sometime? We will stand together, arms length apart, contradicting the green growth. If it rains, we will only hear a little added percolation through the leaves and branches. Through the leaves and branches. Repetition is writing a poem, snipping with scissors the last water pellet that somehow finds the next stanza. The next stanza. Must remember the feeling called from hearing the loud stream roaring beside us, calming the nervous questions to nothing. To nothing. When I am here, I am always so aware. I am matter. I am something. My body is going to decay, like this log that grows moss, like my old yellow lab whose ashes I scattered in that whirlpool. I swam in it and felt a nibble. My current dog plays when she gets to this bank, hiding and digging in sand corners. I am matter. I am something. To nothing. We are all going. Somewhere beautiful. We are racing sticks over the waterfall. A 75-foot drop plummets. I have stood under her sheet of flow, where there is this convenient little place agile hikers can go. I have swum in a gigantic deep hole at her base. I have even stuck my head under some of her like a shower. That involves a treacherous hike, but I am still called to this general spot. About every week, I do an easy walk along the nearest road beside her headwaters. Beside her headwaters, some people made a road long ago. I know the Cherokee were here first, gathering mosses for their babies' diapers. It was not gravel then. Clearly no. Clearly no. Clearly no when I hear rapids. What I don't know falls away. The moment where I stand. Teach me. Teach me is what the elders said to their children, to their infants with dry bottoms dried by gathered mosses. Why do we come here? Elders asked their rhetorical questions to wide-eyed little ones, so the questions would make their way into. Why do we come here? Why do we come here? Was the question I asked on my birthday last year, glissading on my mud bottom, all the way down to the bottom. But when I got to the lowest part, the question, too, had parted. I knew the answer, just like a star gazing is for me. Sometimes we must put ourselves in perspective. It can help to know how small we are. How small we are. How beautiful is nature, and earth eating and digesting herself is not sad to me. Everything is shifting, constantly here. I see familiar trees. I named them for human ideas in their trunks. Ear tree, toilet tree. But if I studied each tree like the whole, I'd see small shifts on every tree, each time. Place revisited. Oh, how you make me who I am. Hush and listen. A plan is a slow thing that must happen. A dream is a plan worth traveling. I was a dreamer without a dream, but I went through a maze that changed me. I came out of it knowing I can get through a maze. So if I ever make a wrong turn again, I know I will figure out how to make it a right turn. Somehow that maze liberated me. On the way home, I stopped and picked a marigold and hug a sage woman I know. We talked over a secret to keep. We didn't discuss a way through every possibility, but I am certain I will go the right way now, even if I make a wrong turn. It's going to be big, unless that ends up being a mistake. Then I will turn, like I did in the maze, and weave my way to where I should be. Life. Oh, beautiful paradox. I am 41 years old. I was always a dreamer, without a dream. Now I think I have a dream. Shh. So random. I imagine you think me incredible. Sleep for 2 months, write a book in a day, maybe title it Random Mistakes. Listen to me. I know more than most people about the lost arc of things. You flood the virus of videos. Is it cake? But you've got to hear me screaming, stop! This is how you season toast just right. Tune into the scattered jar lids. That's all you've got to do. They are inside of you. They stand ajar, rough and ready, exhaling and growing, narrowing and easing, muting and licking, hoping for rice paper. Strangler fig. A tree. Is it still a tree? Becomes destroyed by the very thing that bound it together. That is how I see me. My schizoaffective disorder, SZA, strangled me from leaf to trunk, sucked every bit of life out of my branches, engulfed me entirely until I was someone new, someone braver, someone wiser, someone stronger, someone more compassionate, empathetic, and creative. SZA ruined my hope for being what I thought I'd be. All of those hopes were strangled. But someone new formed where the vine and the tree met. In 2001, I traveled to Costa Rica, gazing up and learning the natural history. I wondered at the majesty of trees engulfed by vines. The truth about life is, you can't stay one way. All people transform. Saw the carpet, rid the tidy, hoe the foot corns, high or might, dead of night, row openly. Tilt your head back a little, adjust your torso, feel better. Now this is where the words originate. Close your clamshells. Harpoon the moment. Muscles sing beneath God's waters. And if I don't believe in God, I'm still hearing it. Start volunteering for yourself. Cut the string and see what happens to the kite. For a brief moment, life expands, until in an instant, hands knitting, parsed parsley, the cook is ready for the final explosion. Come quickly down the back hallway. Don't make a word. Murmuring minnows are unwanted, here against the brick layers. Worst dream. Now it is your turn to snip the last of ribbon, so we all can sip the last blood life giveth. Looming terror. Every day I stroll under a gigantic tree, wrapped so tightly in vines. It has been dead for a long time, but it stands erect with a widowmaker, a gigantic precarious trunk, caught up in the high branches, waiting to land on my head. And I think to myself, O symbolism goddess, why are you giving me the sword of Damocles every time I walk my dog? I miss my neighbor who moved away, seeing him biking around town, watching him grow. Mast, stay strong, wrapped like a mummy in my own emotion, sailing through somebody else's ocean. Body on my knees, I mourn. Burst of lightning, I am reborn. Sky exploding, flaming rubble. There is just one way out of trouble. Let the seed plant its roots so deep, no tears to reach from those who weep. They tried to bury us, but they did not know we were seeds. We will come up between things, life-affirming weed. Larry Richmond. My friend is dying. I knew his long beard. My father says it was a mustache, but I really did remember that man. His voice seemed tired of talking 35 years ago. He had a kind smile and a kind wife. His house had a driveway and crossed over a small stream nearby. I think a lot lately about the dream. I know we wake up into the next life, and it feels more real than this one. All the same characters are there in different faces. Or maybe my dad is an elephant, and Larry is an egret. Maybe I am just a girl walking through the savannah, stepping around the snakes to the bend in the jungle. I am too young to know the significance of things. Worthy of love. I'm tired of whispering "forgive me" in the ear of the unknown. Today I let all the air into my lungs. Today I tell the truth. I did nothing wrong. I made one mistake, so small in the scheme of things. I'm nearly perfect. I should be loved regardless of little accidents. I am not sorry today. Specks of use, petals, life passing, life moving, life. No separating life from change. Imperfection is life. No need to apologize. Perspective. Poem wanting me to write it down comes to me like a 7-year-old begging for Catan. Comes to me like a refugee hoping for water. You walk barefoot along my banks, touching closer to the pulse of things. Dip your toes into the unknown. Dive in with all your clothes. Spin around, unfound. Gulp the lake until it's gone. Drinking that much makes you massive. Rise up and eat the world like a cookie. Channel Rumi. Slashed arrows dream of being painted. I send text messages to unwanted helpers of lost things. Stop mowing the lawn just for 2 beats of the drum. Go to the place we found together and meet me. I will paint you without backstage passes. And if you pierce me, fold the paper, just ready for a passage o'er the waves. Study the outliers. I am examining a leaf way down in the stream. Though the water washes one way, it is sailing in the opposite direction. Then I see red berries, potent, powerful, and we give those seeds to a farmer to plant. But if I hadn't stopped to observe that leaf gliding on the undercurrent, would I learn anything today? Like the lessons of yesterday that led me to identify ginseng today, I watch a gliding leaf and note potential movement. I myself can ride a current if I find myself in the right stream effortlessly going in a direction that only makes sense to me. Person, there will come a moment when you stand neck and neck with a black hole, and the only way to live another day will be to fight tooth and nail. You might have to renounce your pacifism, and the only way to disappear it might be to eat every last bite. I have to find the way. Recycling center. A good idea turns to dust, and dreams become rust, and friends break trust. Still the door lets in a gust that transform lust into questions, while exclamations go to bust. Out of the hokum comes a jest. New hopes construct a best, washing away fears, clinking, changing gears. Keep going. Thin is the line between joy and survival. Most birds migrate at night, by moon and stars, find food all day. Is flight where they rest? No, they are not boarding planes. Flight can be a full body experience of working every muscle. Next time I grumble, I'll remember nocturnal migration. Life is a raging river sometimes. Sometimes it is a creek with many parts, the bank, and a little mossy hole in the shoreline where water laps in, the deep hole and the whirlpool and the nibbling fish and the canopy above and all of the soundscape roaring and trickling simultaneously. Rabbit grave. They painted it with blood, but it was a pretty picture. Smeared last relics on a wall of a nearby cave, to congeal and darken, to feed tiny grubs, a strange variety that stippled the grand design. Then they cooked the meat and licked their fingers and lay down with their wolves. The opposite of money is not debt, it's time. I have been hanging riddles on the line. Pay me $1, not to whine. Health insurance is just fine. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay is a lie. It's not going to be okay. We're all going to die. It's not going to be okay from all the hurt I cry. But there will be a time. There will be a time. It will be okay. Those words are not a crime. Spawn. I sat in the marigold thicket. I pinched off the dead-headed flowers and sprinkled them at the base. Jamie sends a picture of her with her new baby, Icey. I see the extension of one being growing into the next life form. Crickets. Your time of night is softer when locusts go to bed. I have been louder by day lately too. When I got lost in the woods, I drove home, imagining the landscape without roads. Hope for the faithless. Honey, talking to you is like water. Talking to you is like a tall glass of water much needed after a long day. And sometimes I've neglected my own need for water, and I need to fill the pet's water every day, which honestly, I don't. But I'm planning to try a little harder to fill the need. I'll try a little harder at least once a day, from here in to pour that fine liquid in, while my ears taste the sweet music of its flowing. I'll try harder to appreciate you, honey, when I am trapped in the next undertow, when I might have given into depression. But I am not an island, and I don't need to be buried by the waves. I can emerge out of the typhoon. Water water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. I will try harder now to appreciate the ones that love me, like you, people I could sit down with for hours and talk to. I'm going to appreciate you, honey. I'll drink you down. When I got lost in the woods, I drove home, imagining the landscape without roads. Song of Abundance. Ants on peach pit, swifts before rain, high in the cloud part, drops on the pane, flash in the window, thunder growling, like a monster in a trash can, or somebody prowling. Promise me marigolds, smells just so sweet. Thank you for giving me something to eat. There comes a day in August when locust leaves suddenly fall more, yellowed in troves, some with brown crinkles. Rain cycle. The well is closing for now. It seems to have stopped raining. Or maybe people have stopped needing water. I'm trying to remember. I remember drinking long, cool gulps in the field with Roan and Megan while dogs scampered together and insects circled, waiting to drown. I have been drowning in an abundance of poems, so much I forgot to plant rainforests to churn cycles of endless water. For your parched lips, I'm closing the book. Maybe it will rain again. Rain cycle. Box it up. What is the shame? Where does it come from? I already banished it, proved it wrong, denied it of all power, and told it I do not need what it thinks I want. I made a mistake, but the shame is deeper. It says I'm not capable of doing certain things that I thought I had accepted, but it makes me so sad. Then up comes humiliation, another intruder. It says I was the one who messed it up, trying to try again. My own brain is bringing in these bullies, but she also dreamed me back into a better place. I don't think there is any good in the shame, but how can I hide it away from my brain? Through the expedition, my dreams became more feverish and horrible, until all the weight lifted in a dream I only told one person, so vibrant and hopeful and elusive. Whirlpool. Sometimes the thought of pouring myself a cup of water seems like so much work I barely drink. I find humor in a dream, too explicit to share, and weird. And I rise out of it, launching through the creek, inspired.
Oh, it just finished. Oops, let me play the credits.
This has been Random Mistakes, written by Maggie Hess, narrated by Bethany Yeh, copyright 2023 by Maggie Hess, production copyright by Maggie Hess.
Thank you for watching and listening.